Peter Moody, latest inductee into the Racing's Hall of Fame. How does that achievement sit with you?
Yeah, well, I think it's a great privilege. You know, certainly I feel very honoured to be inducted, and yeah, it's a little bit numbing, really. It wasn't something I was expecting. Came out of left field somewhat, but it's great to be recognised by your peers and by people throughout the industry. I'm not sure how it's chosen or how it comes about, but yeah, you know, it is a great privilege.
But it's all Typhoon Tracy. Look at her go. Typhoon Tracy makes a mess of them. Scored by 4 lengths, Lady Lynette.
You know, well, listen, we've had a great time, but the last sort of 2.5 decades, I suppose, 25 years, 30 years or so now, and we've had a bit of luck along the way, and we've been fortunate enough to train some very nice horses for a lot of very good clients. So, you know, it's probably a culmination of that and a lot of hard work. I've had some terrific people around me, supporting me, working for me, and probably mostly my family have been my biggest backbone. My wife, Sarah, we've always traded as Moody Racing, not Peter Moody Racing, because it's always been a family concern. And you know, I suppose it's the culmination of that and a lot of hard work. And like I say, it's unbelievably humbling to sort of have your name, you know, in a list beside some of the greats that have come before us and some of the greats that I've worked for over the years.
I think there's only 4 that are still training that are in the Hall of Fame: Lee Friedman, David Hayes, Chris Waller and Gai Waterhouse. It's fair company to be in.
Yeah, well, unbelievable trainers. You know, I was very fortunate that I've worked beside or around all of those trainers, and you know, you continually learn off them as well, you know, because they're all greats in their own rights. But you know, as a young person, 15-year-old, when I first arrived at Randwick and worked for the great TJ Smith, obviously Gai's father, you know, you looked over one fence and there's Neville Begg, you looked over the other fence, there's JB Cummings, and over every fence there was a great trainer. So if you were smart enough to sort of take it in and soak it up a bit, you had a great opportunity to learn in that period.
She's broken the field up, and before they knew it, she was 3 lengths in front. Black Caviar now from Karuta Queen and Lucky Grey. But this is brutal power, wrapped in an elegant machine, and Black Caviar strides away to win it by 4 lengths, Karuta Queen.
And of course, Black Caviar was your masterpiece in many ways. The feeling down the pub was that anyone could have trained that horse because she's so good, but it was almost the opposite, because you had to really walk her through a lot of her campaigns, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I was probably fortunate that I had a bit of experience under my belt, and I was very fortunate that I had a stable full of good horses at the time, and I was able to be so patient with her, because it's no secret that she was a big, strong girl, and she carried a lot of issues throughout her career, and each and every time something came to a head, we were able to pull up and stop, because we'd walk down the row of boxes and there'd be 3 or 4 other stakes quality horses there. So, you know, the fridge was never empty. Had it been, we might have pushed the barrow a bit too much and we mightn't have seen how great she was. But, you know, we were very fortunate to come across her, and, you know, it was sort of a golden period for us as a stable, full stop. Not only her, like, you know, I think it's a bit like great footballers or great golfers or great tennis players. You know, if you train or work around them, you try and lift to their standards. You might never be as good as them, but there's no doubt you lift and try and achieve that. And I think your stable, your staff and your horses do as well when you've got great horses like her in the stable.
And what about the future? You've obviously in a training partnership now with Catherine Coleman. One of your daughters is showing an inclination to possibly join the team?
Yeah, well, Catherine, she's a tremendous horsewoman in her own right, and I think only time that I'm probably in her way that she'll become a terrific trainer in her own right, and you know, she'll have our full support when that time comes, that I'm sort of probably ready to step away. And my youngest daughter, Celine, she's joined the team, and yeah, I haven't had anyone work for me with that sort of enthusiasm, probably with both her and Catherine collectively throughout my whole career. So it might be go from Moody Coleman to Coleman Moody, but it might be a different Moody in time. We try and showcase what a wonderful industry it is. I always say we get a lot of free kicks against us when things go wrong, but I think we've got to find the positives, and there are a lot more positives in this wonderful industry than there are negatives, and we've got to really promote that.